Many fans is still poking fingers at head coach Stephanie White for actually making the game not entertaining anymore, bro. This motion offense has to be addressed, and Stephanie White has to be held accountable because it's truly the offense that she's running, and it is not for Caitlin Clark at this point. Now, both Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White spoke to the media.
She walked into the league as its savior. But what Caitlin Clark just revealed changes everything. In a moment that stunned fans and insiders alike, Clark dropped a bombshell about an injury she's been quietly battling behind the scenes. It wasn't just a minor tweak or a sore muscle. This was the kind of pain that rewrites everything we thought we knew about her recent struggles. And the way she said it. Calm, measured, devastating. This isn't just about one player hurting, about a system failing her, because once you hear what she said, you'll realize the silence was the loudest betrayal.
I thought at times we could have played a little bit faster, and I think that's on me, like not conceding in that. We still got to play up tempo, we still got to play fast. But I mean, I thought for the most part we did a lot of stuff that coach wanted us to do, and that wasn't why we lost.
I can't hold you, man. That kind of looked like she let that slip out, man. I don't know. But I mean, we all see it. When they play slow, it's just not a good team, man. They're not as good as we see that they could be, right? So they need to play fast, man. I think, they don't necessarily look that good when they're playing half-court ball. Maybe taking something from the Valkyries, man. The Valkyries run, all right? They be running.
Caitlin Clark isn't one to complain. She's built her reputation on grit, focus, and letting her game do the talking. But when she finally spoke up about her injury, it wasn't with drama, it was with a quiet, controlled fire that made the entire basketball world stop and listen. During a post-game media session, Clark dropped what fans are now calling her most revealing statement yet. No fluff, no excuses, just the raw truth. She's been playing hurt. Her words weren't attention-seeking. If anything, they felt overdue. She admitted that the physical toll has been building up for weeks, and for the first time. We got confirmation that what we've been seeing, her slower drives, missed shots, visible discomfort, wasn't just fatigue. It was real, and it was worse than anyone thought. But what made this statement hit harder wasn't just the injury itself, it was the way she framed it. She didn't name names, but she didn't have to. There was an unmistakable tension underneath, her tone, like someone who had been carrying more than just physical pain. "I've been pushing through it," she said. "Sometimes you just do what you have to do for your team." That line alone raised eyebrows. Because what exactly was she pushing through? Was this a coaching decision to keep her playing despite signs she wasn't okay? Was the team aware and said nothing? Did the league know their most marketable star was being ground down game after game? The moment she dropped that line, you could feel the narrative shift. This wasn't just about a shooting slump anymore. This was about a player sacrificing her body while the people around her either ignored the warning signs or actively chose not to care. And if that's true, this injury might only be the beginning of a much bigger story. The warning signs weren't subtle, they were flashing in plain sight. Caitlin Clark's performance hadn't just dipped. Instead of raising alarm, commentators called it a rookie slump, and critics rushed to dissect her stats. It became more obvious. She started passing up open looks, hesitating on drives, deferring in moments where she used to dominate. And yet, the people closest to the situation, the coaching staff, the league, the media either didn't ask the right questions or didn't want the real answers. It wasn't just her movement either. You could see it in her. Posture after missed shots in her eyes when the camera zoomed in during timeouts. She was still suiting up, still giving her all, but there was a shadow trailing her. Franchise of a league, you're expected to keep pushing no matter what. Smile for the cameras, sign autographs, lead huddles even. When your body is breaking, that's not toughness. That's pressure, masquerading as professionalism. The most tragic part? Social media lit up with concern long before the official statement. They knew something wasn't right. They saw the spark in her game dim and gone. Now they finally know why. But if these signs were so clear to the public, when Caitlin Clark said she'd been pushing through it, the room got quiet, but not because the reporters were shocked. It was because deep down, everyone already suspected the truth. The only real surprise was that she finally said it, out loud, and once she did, It exposed a much deeper issue than just an injury. It revealed a glaring disconnect between Clark and the very people who are supposed to support her. The coaching staff. All season long, fans have watched as Clark's game seemed misaligned with the system she's been forced to run, the slow-paced motion offense, the constant off-ball assignments. The lack of creative plays built around her strength sits, like watching a Ferrari get stuck in traffic. And now, knowing that she's been injured this whole time, it takes that frustration to another level. Because who allowed this to happen? Did Stephanie White and Christy Sides know she was hurt and keep playing her anyway? Did they downplay the severity, encouraging her to tough it out? Or worse, did they never bother to ask? Clark has never been the kind of player to throw her coaches under the bus. Even now, she didn't name anyone directly, but the subtext in her statement was crystal clear. She was left to make it work, even when her body couldn't keep up. And let's not forget the stakes. This isn't just a high school scrimmage, this is professional basketball, where careers are made and broken in a single season. Clark is the face of a franchise, the face of the league, and yet she's being treated like a disposable part, forced to keep pushing through pain in a system that doesn't even fit her. The trust is breaking down. She's out there giving everything, while the coaching staff draws up schemes that do nothing to protect or elevate her. And now that she's spoken out, even carefully, it's clear that disconnect isn't just tactical, it's personal, and it's eating away at the very chemistry this team was supposed to build around her. If the coaching disconnect was frustrating, what's happening at the league level is downright alarming. Caitlin Clark isn't just any rookie, she's the WNBA's most valuable asset. She's the reason ticket sales are up, arenas are packed, and the league is getting more national airtime than ever before. So how is it possible that the same league benefiting from her spotlight is the one turning a blind eye to her suffering? Let's talk facts. Clark has taken more hits, more cheap fouls, and more uncalled body checks than any star player should ever have to endure. Opponents play her like it's a contact sport, and the officials, they blow the whistle when it's convenient. She gets picked up full court, blindsided off ball, and hacked on drives with no protection. And while it might look like tough defense on the surface, the pattern is clear. Caitlin Clark is being left vulnerable. The league has footage, the league has data, the league has eyes. So why hasn't anyone stepped in? That's the part that feels intentional. The WNBA markets Clark endlessly, using her face in every highlight reel and press kit. But they've done next to nothing to protect her on the court. No memos, no public statements, no referee accountability. Just silence, deafening, deliberate silence. Is this just mismanagement, or is there something strategic going on? Because when you let your biggest star get worn down physically and emotionally, but continue to profit from her image, it starts to look less like neglect and more like exploitation. Clark's injury bombshell didn't just raise concerns about her health, it exposed the league's failure to protect its crown jewel. Fans came to see brilliance. Instead, they're watching someone get punished for being great. And if the league doesn't course correct soon, it won't just lose Clark, lose every fan who sees what's really happening. It's no longer just defense, it's personal. The physicality Caitlin Clark faces each night has crossed the line from aggressive play to something more dangerous. And now, with her recent injury coming to light, the attacks feel less like basketball and more like targeted punishment. What was once competition has transformed into open hostility, and nobody's stopping it. Opponents don't even bother to hide it anymore. Elbows to the ribs, shoulders to the chest, shoves after the whistle, it's all become part of the routine. Some players appear to treat every game against Clark as a chance to make a statement, to put her in her place, to knock her off the pedestal the league built for her. But this isn't just about proving a point. It's personal, it's petty, and it's dangerous. And where are the refs? The same ones who seem to penalize Clark for so much as breathing too. Close to an opponent are suddenly blind when she gets leveled on a screen or flattened on a fast break. They're calling the game with a double standard, and the message is clear. Caitlin Clark will not be protected. She will be tested. And maybe, just maybe, she'll be broken. But it's not just the officials turning a blind eye. It's the entire system. The league has done nothing to address the uptick in flagrant contact aimed her way. No statements, no fines, no suspensions, just silence, as if this kind of treatment is the price of fame. What makes it worse is that fans see it. Broadcasters awkwardly dodge it. Social media clips go viral showing the abuse, yet the league stays quiet. And now that Clark has confirmed she's been playing injured, every uncalled hit feels like salt in the wound. Because if this is how the WNBA treats its brightest star, you have to ask, how far are they willing to let this go before it ends in something they can't ignore? Caitlin Clark was supposed to be the future of the WNBA, the star, to usher in a new era of excitement, viewership, and relevance. But instead of being nurtured and developed, it's starting to look like she's being broken down. Not physically, not just emotionally, but piece by piece, game by game, her identity as a player is being erased. And the scariest part, it's happening right in front of us. She's not being treated like a generational talent. She's being managed like a plug-and-play shooter on a rebuilding roster. You see it in the offensive schemes. She's parked off ball. Her signature logo, threes all but banned. You see it in the substitutions, the constant lineup shuffling with no rhythm. She's being rotated, restricted, reshaped into something unrecognizable. And with every game, she seems to shrink just a little more. Clark's style, once instinctual, fast, electric, now feels forced, second-guessed, disconnected. Her confidence, worn thin, her rhythm, broken. The Caitlin Clark, who once played with flair and fire, now looks like a star on mute, running scripted plays in a system designed to suppress rather than support. And the irony is brutal. The very league that needed her spark, that exploded in ticket sales and media coverage thanks to her name, now seems uncomfortable with the way she shines. It's as if the WNBA asked for a superstar but wasn't prepared for what that really meant. Now, instead of building around her, they're trying to mold her into something safer, more controllable, less disruptive. But fans didn't show up to see Caitlin Clark passively run handoffs. They came to see her take over. Instead, they're witnessing a slow unraveling, a suffocation. This isn't development, it's dismantling. And if it keeps going like this, we won't be talking about her rise wheel, be documenting her fall, engineered not by talent or effort, but by the very league that should have protected her. The moment Caitlin Clark revealed she'd been playing through injury, the WNBA world lit up, and not in celebration. Fans, analysts, and even former players immediately turned their attention to the people who were supposed to have her back. Because now the question isn't just what happened, it's who let it happen. Social media exploded with outrage. Blame was being tossed like a live grenade, some aimed at the Indiana Fever coaching staff, others at league executives, and a growing number at the referees. Everyone wants answers, and for good reason. How did the most valuable player in the league's history, the centerpiece of a multi-million-dollar marketing campaign, get this far into the season with no real protection or support? Stephanie White and Christy Sides are under fire for mismanaging not just the team but Clark's body, running her through brutal minutes, placing her in high-risk plays, and using schemes that clearly don't match her strengths has turned what should have been a breakout season into a survival test. And when Clark spoke about pushing through it, it felt like confirmation that nobody in her corner was waving the red flag. The league office isn't off the hook either. They've been happy to cash in on her popularity using her face for promotions, her highlights for commercials, her name to drive up ratings. But when it came time to ensure her safety, silence. No official investigations into flagrant fouls, no league-wide initiatives to protect stars. Just business as usual, while Clark limped through a mess. And then there's the media. The same ones that hyped her up all year long seemed slow to acknowledge the reality until she said it herself. Now everyone's pretending they were concerned all along. But fans remember who kept pushing the rookie wall. Narrative, instead of asking if something deeper was wrong. This wasn't just a missed injury report, it was a total systems failure. And now that Clark has spoken, the backlash has only begun. Caitlin Clark's bombshell wasn't just about an injury, it was a spotlight on the cracks in the system. She played through pain while the league profited, coaches mismanaged, and opponents took liberties. Now, the silence has been shattered. Fans aren't just upset, they're furious. Because this isn't how you treat the face of a league. If the WNBA doesn't step up, it risks losing more than Clark Kit, risks losing the trust of millions who believed in her rise, she warned. Them with quiet fire. The question now is, will anyone finally listen? Or will they let her burn out completely?